You reached a new extreme this month at the Second Thomas Shoal. Can you tell us about the incident that happened?
Sure. Well, what happened was that the Philippines shifted some tactics, and instead of using as they have in the past, to have the Philippine Coast Guard escort their privately or the leased wooden boats that they've used manned by the Philippine Navy in civilian clothes to resupply the Sierra Madre out at Union or Second Thomas Shoal. This time they dispatched two groups of ribs or inflatable boats with a rigid hull. One group was Philippine Marines, and the other group is Philippine Navy Special Operations Unit, or their SEALs. And en route to Union Shoal, the Marines were blocked, so they did not participate. The Navy SEALs got into Union Shoal, and these are the ones that, if you look on any of the photographs or the videos, these are the ones that are wearing a camouflage uniform that's got like a tiger print on it. And those SEALs undergo very rigorous training, just like ours do. And of course, you've seen in the videos what happened was that the Chinese came after these SEALs with knives and spears and an axe. And the piece of the background that was not disclosed in the media was that the SEALs were under a stand down order. That is, you folks don't get to fight back. Just get the supplies into the Sierra Madre. And so what happened was there was this ugly altercation, and the SEALs were trying to defend themselves with their bare hands. The Chinese stabbed one or more of the inflatable boats looking to sink them. They grabbed cell phones. They grabbed some other materials off of the Philippine SEALs boats, and then they rammed one of the boats really hard. And one of the SEALs, Navy seaman Jeffrey Facundo, had his thumb basically amputated in that exercise. It was a really event. So the bottom line, in answer to your question, is this whole event of escalation. This is my perspective, of course, is it really shook up the leadership of the Philippine military and the political leadership in the country. There was a delay in coming out with any kind of communications, and so China got its version out into the media first. And then there are all kinds of complicated ramifications following from this escalation. And among those complications is that the Chief of Staff of the Philippine military, General Bronner, has said the next time this occurs, we're going to meet force with force. So there are other complications relating to this, but that's kind of the short answer or long-winded answer to your question, to kind of give you the picture of what actually happened.
And just for clarity, even though these were Filipino military men, they were unarmed, correct?
Oh yeah, they were unarmed and under orders not to fight back. And so here's Chris, here's the piece that the public probably doesn't understand, that on board the Sierra Madre, those are not Marines or SEALs. Those are Navy sailors. And they have a different training, but they're instructed before they're deployed that if any, in the event of any serious wartime erupts with China, you guys understand that you're going to be the first to go. And so they understand that when they're deployed, but those are not Marines, at least not yet, on the Sierra Madre. The second thing, Chris, is that if you watch closely at the videos, you'll see that the Chinese are within just a few feet of the hull of the Sierra Madre. So, of course, there is great concern that we may see a boarding of the Sierra Madre in the future, and that will be a fight. Some people will get hurt seriously if that happens, or even more seriously. I saw one news report while I was in the Philippines that uh, one of the SEALs that was on this mission was basically crying because they had this stand down order and they wanted to just jerk some of the Chinese into the water and drown them, but they were under orders not to. So that this whole exercise has been a morale hit.
Is it clear why the Chinese side went at the Filipino boats with like the axes and the things like that? They changed their tactics this time?
No, I don't think so, Shelley. I mean, you've asked a really important question. Why did the Chinese escalate? And I think, we have to appreciate that China has taken a real beating with the Transparency Initiative and their soft power, their image, and so they are trying to do whatever they can to upset these resupply missions.
Well, I think an issue is there's been no real red line drawn. I know at what was that meeting? I can't think of the name. Just the Shangri-La conference. The Filipino side said that if a Filipino soldier were killed, that would be very close to an act of war. So that's a very vague red line. I could see China just coming in, grabbing the sailors on the Second Tom Shoal on the Sierra Madre, and then just wrecking the ship.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a possibility. I mean, I think it's important to remember a couple things here. One is that the Sierra Madre is still an active, commissioned Philippine Navy warship, and so you get an attack on the Sierra Madre, you've got a clear act of war, which ties back into the made by the current administration that an attack on public vessels will trigger the Mutual Defense Treaty. And you're absolutely correct about the lack of clarity on the red line. But I think overall, Chris, the piece that we have to remember, and it's very unfortunate, is that for the United States, the current situation globally is kind of following from your show that you had with Matt Pottinger, is that globally we've had a collapse of our country's ability to deter actions by malign actors like China.